When James Webb looked deep into the past of the universe, it saw something that shouldn't be there. Not a galaxy, not a star, and not any natural form of matter. It looked like a structure. And if it was a structure, then who built it? And why leave it out there at the edge of everything, where nothing should even exist? Welcome back to Echoes from Tomorrow, where the questions no one dares to ask finally find a voice in the dark. Chapter 1. What James Webb saw shouldn't exist. It began with a deep field. Image 1 of the most powerful ever captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. The picture peered over 13 billion years into the past. This was the realm just after the universe's dark ages, a time when the first stars and galaxies were thought to be forming. But something in that image defied expectations. Among the distant light, researchers found a compact, luminous object. It was unlike anything previously observed. It wasn't a galaxy, the shape was too small, too sharply defined. It wasn't a star, the light was steady, not flickering, and didn't have the spectral signature of fusion. It wasn't a nebula, either, there was no cloud or diffusion. The object was geometric. It had edges, not natural curves, but angles suggesting symmetry, intent, precision. Its glow was cool and constant, without the randomness found in natural bodies. Its light profile didn't match anything in our astronomical databases. One researcher reportedly whispered during the first viewing session, "It looks made." In the scientific community, that phrase carries weight, because if it's made, it has a maker. Theories poured in quickly. Some said it could be a primordial black hole surrounded by an unknown form of accretion material. Others argued for a clump of exotic dark matter caught in a gravitational pocket. But each theory came with glaring holes. The object didn't bend light as a black hole should. It didn't behave like dark matter usually does. So scientists considered a more unsettling possibility. Could it be artificial? Not alien in the cinematic sense, but something built with intent. An object with design, symmetry, purpose. But if so, who built it? And when and how? The more scientists studied it, the more uneasy they became. It wasn't just the object's appearance. It was its placement. This structure wasn't nestled in the middle of a star system. It wasn't anchored to anything. It floated, isolated, deep in a cosmic void. No nearby galaxies, no obvious source of energy. Just an object that shouldn't exist, sitting exactly where it shouldn't be. Some speculated it could be a mirage, a gravitational lensing illusion, or a trick of overlapping light sources, but repeated observations with different instruments confirmed its stability and exact location. One physicist wrote anonymously, "In a research forum, it challenges our cosmology. It shouldn't be there if the Big Bang timeline is correct." And so the question grew louder, more pressing. Not just what is it, but why is it? Could it be a relic of something ancient, far older than the galaxies surrounding it? Or could it be watching? Chapter 2. Could it be a megastructure? Among speculative theories in astrophysics, few are as captivating or controversial as megastructures. These are massive constructs, built by advanced civilizations to harness astronomical energy. The most famous of these is the Dyson sphere, proposed by physicist Freeman Dyson in the 1960s. The idea was simple but radical. A civilization, upon reaching a certain level of technological advancement, would eventually outgrow its planetary energy supply, The solution: enclose its host star with a structure designed to absorb every photon it emits. A Dyson sphere would be enormous, hollow, encircling an entire star. Some imagined it as a solid shell, others as a swarm of energy-collecting satellites orbiting in formation. But what if the object James Webb saw was related not a full Dyson construct, but a fragment? Its shape was compact, its glow steady. It didn't orbit a star, but floated in isolation, as if it had broken off, been discarded, or launched on purpose. Some theorists have suggested that megastructures might take many forms: energy collectors, data storage hubs, or long-range probes. If the object is one of these, it might still be functional, or it might be drifting like space debris from a civilization long gone. This isn't the first time scientists have considered megastructures in space. In 2015, astronomers noticed a star, KIC 8,462,852, also known as Tabby star, dimming in unpredictable ways. Some hypothesized a megastructure was causing the fluctuations. The excitement was short. Further studies pointed to dust clouds as the cause, but it left a lasting imprint on the scientific imagination. In contrast, this new object doesn't cause dimming. It doesn't even orbit anything. It simply exists, a physical presence that suggests function. Astrobiologists have noted its similarity to predicted signatures of advanced engineering: the symmetry, the precise reflection of light, the lack of thermal noise. What if this is a module from a larger whole? A piece of a vast system scattered across intergalactic space? Perhaps even a gateway, a transportation node connecting distant points. The implications are dizzying. One speculation is that advanced civilizations might spread by sending out autonomous, self-replicating machines. Von Neumann probes to build infrastructure far from home. Could this object be one? Its distance from us doesn't lessen its mystery. It deepens it. Because the further back in time we look, the fewer technological fingerprints we expect to see. But maybe we were wrong to expect silence. Maybe what James Webb saw was not the beginning, but evidence that someone had already arrived. Chapter 3. Who could have built it? If this object is truly artificial, then the question becomes impossible to ignore. Who or what built it? To answer this, scientists turn to the Kardashev scale, a method of classifying civilizations by their energy usage. A Type 1 civilization can use all the energy available on its home planet. Type 2 can harness the full energy of a star. Type 3, the power of an entire galaxy. Humanity hasn't yet reached. Type the first, but a megastructure, especially one free-floating in deep space, with no nearby star, would suggest an intelligence operating well beyond our capabilities, possibly Type 2, perhaps even beyond. But here's the catch. This object existed 13 billion years ago. The light from it began its journey when the universe was barely a few 100 million years old. That's just after the first stars were born. The timeline doesn't add up. Life, especially intelligent life, wasn't supposed to exist that early. There hadn't been enough time for stars to form, live, and die to produce the heavy elements necessary for biology, let alone technology. So how can we explain this? One hypothesis: life didn't start the way we think. Perhaps in the early universe, under extreme conditions, exotic life forms emerged, not based on carbon, but on something faster, more efficient. Perhaps they weren't biological at all. What if they were artificial intelligence from the start? Another hypothesis: the object isn't native to this universe. Some physicists support theories like eternal inflation and the multiverse. Under these frameworks, countless other universes may exist, some older, some younger. It's possible that this object slipped into ours through a cosmic rupture. Or perhaps it was sent deliberately. Could we be witnessing the footprint of a cross-universe? Civilization, once so advanced that even our universe's birth wasn't their beginning. There's also the theory of a cosmic precursor. Some scientists believe that relics from previous cosmic cycles, universes that expanded, collapsed, and restarted, might survive. In this model, the object could be a survivor from a universe before the Big Bang. The implications are staggering. It wouldn't just rewrite biology or physics. It would challenge our most basic assumptions about time, space, and existence itself. And yet, the idea isn't dismissed entirely. Some researchers, speaking off record, admit this is unlike anything they've seen. One cosmologist reportedly said, "It's not just that it shouldn't exist, it's that it feels intentional, whether machine-built or seeded by unknown life." This object hints at a disturbing possibility. We may not be the first, and if that's true, we might not be the only ones watching the stars. Chapter 4. What scientists say and why they're not sure. When confronted with the unknown, science must walk a careful line between open-minded inquiry and disciplined skepticism. Officially, space agencies like NASA and ESA have not classified the object as anything artificial. The James Webb team has been cautious, releasing images and data without speculation. In peer-reviewed papers, the object is described in neutral terms: anomalous, non-stellar, unclassified. But behind the scenes, the discussion is more intense. Some astronomers argue it could be an primordial galaxy, a type we've never seen before. Others propose that it's a rare gravitational mirage, where overlapping masses distort and project light from distant sources. Yet both explanations are weakly supported. The object remains static across observations. Its spectral signature doesn't align with known galaxies or lensed images. There's also tension within the scientific community. A growing number of independent researchers believe this is something new, something that warrants more than a cautious shrug. But saying the word artificial invites risk. History is filled with cautionary tales. In the 1970s, astronomer Jerry Eman recorded a strong radio signal from deep space, the WOW signal. For decades, its origin has remained mysterious, and suggestions of extraterrestrial sources were quickly dismissed or ridiculed. Scientists feared jumping to conclusions. A claim of intelligent origin could damage careers, attract conspiracy theorists, and distract from serious research. Yet silence has its own cost. Some argue that avoiding the alien question is itself unscientific. Science is about testing all possibilities, even uncomfortable ones. Dismissing the artificial hypothesis too quickly may blind us to evidence hiding in plain sight. A leaked email from an astrophysics roundtable reportedly included this line: "We may be looking at a technology we can't yet recognize as such." The mystery of the object remains unresolved. The data doesn't lie. It's real. It's there, and it doesn't fit. For now, scientists continue observing. More instruments are being aimed at the object. More light is being collected. But the closer we look, the more the object seems to retreat, refusing definition, resisting understanding. Perhaps we're not advanced enough to grasp what we're seeing, or perhaps it's waiting for us to catch up. Chapter 5. What happens if it is artificial? Let's take the leap. Let's assume what many fear to say aloud. The object is not natural. It's a construct. Then everything changes. First, it means intelligence existed long, before us, billions of years before our sun even formed. That alone would reshape every scientific and philosophical model we have. Second, it means we're not alone, and we never were. But third, and perhaps most unsettling, it means the universe isn't empty. It's inhabited. Or at least, it was. If the object is a beacon, we have to ask, who was it meant for? If it's a ruin, what destroyed its builders? And if it's still functional, what is it doing right now? One scenario is benign. The structure is dead. A fossil in space. A monument left behind by a culture that no longer exists. Its silence is peaceful, not threatening. But another scenario is far more chilling. What if it's active? What if it monitors the universe, quietly scanning for signals? What if it detected us long before we ever saw it? Some speculate that we may be part of a long experiment, that civilizations are seeded, watched, and judged. The object could be a sentinel, a cosmic observer, neither hostile nor friendly, just watching. Others imagine darker outcomes, that the structure is a warning, or a trap, or a key. If it contains information like a time capsule, what would it reveal? Technologies beyond our imagination, maps to civilizations lost, or messages meant to awaken something long dormant. And here's the most haunting possibility. What if it's not alone? What if thousands of these objects are scattered across the cosmos, waiting to be found, each one holding a fragment of a larger story, a story we were never meant to read? The discovery forces us to confront the limits of our understanding and the fragility of our place in the universe. We are young, curious, reckless, and now we've touched something ancient. The James Webb Telescope was built to see the birth of stars, but maybe, just maybe, it also caught the fading echo of someone else's brilliance, someone who came before, someone who left something behind, waiting for us. What do you think? Was it a strange natural event, or the shadow of something intelligent? If this story sparked your curiosity, give it a like so YouTube knows you want more like it. And if you have your own theory, drop it in the comments. Who knows? Maybe your question will shape the next mystery we chase. We'll be back soon, with more signals from the dark. Sleep well if you can.